And welcome back, everyone. WREP 15 Sports. Eric Burns here to give you the play-by-play call, the final regular season game here from Sidewoods Field, where the Martinsville Artesians are taking on the Plainfield Quakers. And here come the Martinsville Artesians. So as you can see, the Martinsville Artesians in the all-red uniforms taking on the Plainfield Quakers. Artesians come into tonight's matchup at 6-2. Plainfield comes in at 4-4. Artesians coming off a tough loss to Mooresville last week, and we'll break that down a little bit more. But first, we're going to pause here for the national anthem played by the Martinsville Artesian Marching Band. And that was the national anthem performed by the Martinsville Artesian Marching Band, and colors presented tonight by local Boy Scout troop. So we thank everyone to help honor America tonight at Sidewoods Field for senior nights. Once again, WREP 15 Sports. Eric Burns here to give you the final regular season game for the Martinsville Artesians and the Plainfield Quakers as we get ready. Both teams, the captains will meet at midfield, and we will get the coin toss. Like I said, last week a tough, heartbreaking loss for the Martinsville Artesians. Took on Mooresville at the Mooresville High School last week. Lost 21-24 on a last-second 45-yard field goal to end the game from Mooresville. So Artesians lost that game and then lost more than likely any chance at winning the Mid-State Conference. Mathematically, they're still not out of it, but you need a big upset from both Franklin and Perry Meridian tonight against Mooresville and Decatur Central. So more than likely that loss last week knocked any chance of the Artesians taking a share or all of the Mid-State Conference crown. But you can kind of get that behind you because after this game, it's sectional time. Everyone's clean slate, And it should be interesting because the Artesians, sectional draws were last Sunday. The Artesians were able to draw a bye. They're a 5-team sectional, so 3 teams draw a bye. So they do not play next week. They are off next week, and then they will host here at Satterwoods Field the Bloomington North High School Cougars in 2 weeks for their sectional. Now, Plainfield, on the other hand, they do play next week. They did not draw the bye, and they play a very tough opponent in the Irish from Cathedral. So they will play Cathedral next week. So it'll be interesting to see how Coach Whitson and Coach Woodard kind of do things here. This game, obviously it's important. Obviously you want the win, but there are no championships on the line here. And I think the biggest thing, you'll want to make sure everybody is healthy coming out of this game for sectionals. That's probably the most important thing as we are underway. Kick is by Caleb Urban, out of bounds through the end zone. So we will see what Coach Whitson does. Now coming in the Satterwoods Field this evening, I saw number 13, Tavion Gadia, who is arguably Plainfield's best player, and he was not in pads. I don't know if he has an injury or Coach Woodard is just kind of holding him out and making sure that he's ready for sectionals next week. But this is a player, Gadia, who had nearly 1,300 yards rushing, 15 touchdowns, and was going to be a real tough test for the Artesians. I do not see him back in the backfield right now. So hands off up the middle. Still a good run, but tackled around the 25-yard line. See who was in that on that play. Number 30 looks like Jacob Burkett in there on that tackle. Jacob Burkett, a player who 67 tackles on the year, the junior. And Plainfield will take their time. 2nd and 4 coming up for the Quakers. It's another handoff, missed tackle, and that will be near the first down marker. I think it was enough to have it. Ben Balsarac in there on the tackle. So a first down run. As you can see, Plainfield, even though they I don't believe you'll see Tavion Gadia tonight. They're a team, they like to run the ball. They come into tonight's game averaging 247 yards per game on the ground. So this is a team that likes to run. At that time, not much running room there. With Ben Balsarac, the team's leading tackler coming into tonight's game, I think was the first one to meet the Quaker running back. It's number 27 for Plainfield. That's going to be Logan Burdon. And as Logan, I believe, goes out, Plainfield does some substituting. So in a shotgun is the Quakers. And then the quarterback is going to take it on the right side and gets it near the 35-yard line. So that's going to bring up a third down situation for the Quakers. Looks like Derek Keller, the quarterback that time. Derek Keller hasn't done a whole lot statistically offensively, but defensively 60 tackles, 11 tackles for loss. He's one of the leaders on this defensive unit. That time, though, with the quarterback draw. Third down here for the Quakers. It's going to be a pass play. Quick pass and incomplete. Nice job on the far side. I think that was Seth Gallion, number 3, who broke that up. He saw that pass play, jumped it, and broke it up. Excuse me. Fourth down coming up here for the Quakers from their home 35. It looks like they're going to send out their punting unit. Number 98, I believe, is the punter, Harris Nichols, sophomore kicker and punter. So good stop by the Artesian defense. Gave up the first down, but held firm. It looks like going to force the Quakers to punt it here, which they will, and it's blocked, and it's scooped up, and there's no one to stop him. Touchdown! And that's Garrett Miles with the touchdown. I could not see who blocked that punt, but there were 2 or 3 Martinsville players in the face of Nichols as he punted that football. No chance for him to get that away. And just like that, special teams with a big momentum shift for the Artesians as they strike first. Garrett Miles, the one who scooped it up, took it all the way into the end zone. And now Caleb Urban on the extra point. It is up and it is good. So Caleb Urban remains perfect from extra point. And the Artesians have an early 7-0 lead against the Plainfield Quakers. And the Martinsville offense still will stay on the sideline as the Artesians will kick it off back to the Quakers offense here. So the Artesians set to kick this off. 9:52 left to go in the first quarter. Already a 7-0 lead on a nice special teams blocked punt. And a scoop and score by Garrett Miles. So special teams strike first. And Caleb Urban puts his leg in it, and that will also go into the end zone for another touchback. It is a cold, wet night here at Ciderwoods Field. This is probably the coldest game we've had all year. The Artesians and the rest of Indiana football, for the most part, has been pretty fortunate to have fairly warm weather through the month of September and into October. But here we are, October 12th, last game of the regular season, and not only is it cold, probably going to be dipping down into the 40s by the end of the game tonight, but also may have some rain precipitation. So it's going to be a pass play. Plainfield's quarterback was able to escape the sack, but he had to scramble, and I think he went out of bounds and maybe lost a yard on that scramble. It was number 15, Cale Vanderbush. Now, Plainfield, I'm not for sure, but number 17, Aiden Moyers, was typically their starting quarterback. He's got the most experience, but did not play last year. I don't know if that's due to an injury or what that is, but Cale Vanderbush played last week against Plainfield's game against the Whiteland Warriors. Had 81 yards passing, a touchdown, interception. This time it's a toss play. Not much room there. And the ball's loose, but it is recovered by Plainfield. That was a nice tackle from behind the line of scrimmage. The ball came loose, but Artesians unfortunately could not jump on it. And Plainfield able to recover it, but they are facing a 3rd and long situation. I think Jacob Burkin was the one who got back there and made the tackle for loss. The ball came loose, and fortunately for Plainfield, it rolled forward, and they were able to recover it. So they were able to gain 2 yards on that fumble. And here's a pass play. Vanderbush looking, he's scrambling, he's going to be tackled from behind and brought down. That's 88, Ben Marino with the sack. Ben Marino, his 4th sack of the season. He's got 4.5 now after that one. So one of the defensive ends, Ben Marino's had to step up. Chase Havlin's playing, but he's had a bit of a shoulder injury. He did tough it out and play last week, and he believe he's going to play some tonight, but he may not play much. And we've got right now, Plainfield showing that they're going to go for it, but this may be just a quick pooch kick here from the quarterback position. Roll out, and that's exactly what it is. It's a high punt, and it is going to take a Plainfield roll, so it's going to roll into Artesian territory and be down at around the 46-yard line. So another good stand by the Artesian defense, limiting much for the Plainfield Quakers. And Martinsville offense will finally get to take the field. 8 minutes, 16 seconds left in the first quarter. Artesian with a 7-0 lead, and this is the first we get to see of the Martinsville offense. It looks like Martinsville will be playing all of their starters to start here. Griffey, number 5, and Isaac Osborne, number 34 there to the right of him. So it looks like most of the Artesian starters will play. Hopefully Artesians can get a big enough lead they can rest some of these starters. High snap. Griffey gets hit, and it's picked off. And it is going to go all the way into the end zone. And an interception. That's Derek Keller, number 10, who picked that off. And Travis Griffey had a high snap was looking to pass that to Isaac Osborne, got hit right as he threw, which kind of made that football flutter in the air a little bit, and that was an easy interception for Plainfield. They were able to pick that out of the air, and special teams struck for Martinsville, and defense comes right back and strikes for the Quakers, and we're an extra point away from having a tie ball game. I was looking forward to possibly Artesian scoring here and stretching this lead enough where in the second half you can rest some of your players and get ready for sectionals, but 7-6 now, and our Plainfield set to kick this up. Looks good, and it is. So that's a tie ball game, 7-7. So just like that, the Quakers respond. And that's why the center might be one of the more important positions on the field, because especially in this offense that Martinsville likes to run, a kind of a run-pass option offense, they like to go quick. If you have a high snap, which is what happened there, it kind of messes up the rhythm of the play. Now that defensive end came around, almost looks like he was unblocked, and he gave Travis Griffey a shot. Hopefully Travis is okay. The last thing you want to do is get your starting quarterback hurt. But he was able to get up and walk off the field. So I don't think he's any injury or maybe a little sore after that shot, but should be okay. But unfortunately was able to, not able to get that to Isaac Osborne, and ball fell in the hands of Keller, who took it the other way. So 8:07 now left in the first quarter, and Plainfield will kick it off, and Martinsville offense will try it again. It's a line drive kick. It will be taken inside the 5. It's bobbled a little bit, but scooped up. And now on the far sideline, now Tyler Cox. He's got 2 men to beat. He cuts back inside. He's still going. He's at the 40, 30, 20, 10, and he will score. Number 28, Tyler Cox, with a 95 kickoff return for touchdown. And he was able to get up the far sideline. He had 2 men to beat, and he cut back inside, and then it was a foot race. And if you've got a foot race against that young man, Tyler Cox, most people are going to lose that foot race. So Artesians respond. It's another special teams touchdown. So we've got 2 scores for the Artesians, both of them coming via special teams. Extra point is perfect. So 14-7. So now Artesian kicking team will come back out soon. So Martinsville's offense out for 1 play. Griffey got hit, threw a interception. It was returned for a touchdown, but special teams picked him up. Tyler Cox took it 95 yards for the score. This has been a strange first quarter here at Ciderwoods Field. We're just a little over 4 minutes in, and we've had 2 special teams touchdowns and a pick 6 from Plainfield. So both offenses kind of struggling a little bit. Martinsville really hasn't had much chance to get any rhythm, only had 1 play, and unfortunately it was that pick 6. And Martinsville defense has done a nice job really limiting Plainfield's offense. Not much they've done either when they've had the football. And that is going to go also into the end zone. So another touchback. And here comes the Martinsville defense back out again. So like I said, Plainfield without their starting running back and arguably probably their best player and biggest offensive weapon, Tavian Gadia. Not sure if it's an injury or if it's just a coaching strategy by Coach Woodard, who knows sectionals are coming up next week. Plainfield will have to play next week. They don't have a bye like Martinsville does, so it's going to be a quarterback keeper. I believe that was Izzy Elliott who went in and made that tackle, limiting that gain. About a 5-yard pickup there on that play. Under center this time for Plainfield. Jet sweep, nope, and the quarterback will keep it, and met by 3 or 4 Artesian players and maybe got 2 or 3 yards on that. So to bring up 3rd and short for the Quakers. See if the Artesians can force another 4th down. They've done it last 2 times they've been out on the football field. Can they do it again? This time 3rd and 2. So Artesians looking for a run play here. We'll see if they can stop it or if Plainfield surprises them. And it's going to be close. Push back. He needed to get to the just on the other side of the 30-yard line, and I think he's going to be short where the officials haven't marked. So that should bring up 4th and about a yard or maybe even less than a yard. So we'll see what Coach Woodard does here. 4th and inches, I would say. So Coach Woodard's going to keep his offense out there. 14-7. We might see a quarterback keeper here. And we do, and leaps and gets the first down by about a yard or 2. So a first down for the Quakers. And they continue this drive from their own 33-yard line. 6 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Artesians with a 14-7 lead, and we've got movement up front, and I believe that's going to be on the Artesians. There's about 2 or 3 Martinsville defensive linemen who jumped. And that's what it will be. It will be offsides against the Artesians. Artesians have done pretty well doing that. I can't remember exactly. I believe it was maybe the Greenwood game, which was the 3rd game in. And the Artesians had about 3 or 4 different offsides, if not more than that, on that game. And since that game, they've done a pretty good job. Well-disciplined team. And once again, we've got another run, and it went for about 4 yards. So we're going to bring up 2nd and 1 after the offsides on first down. Number 27, Logan Burden, doing most of the damage here for the Quakers. And again, just right up the middle. No surprises, nothing special there. Yeah, number 27, Logan Burden. He does have 48 carries on the year, 326 yards, 2 touchdowns, so it's not like he hasn't played much at all. I mean, he has got some playing time, but typically Gady is the main ball carrier, so now we've got a little change here. I think this is number 10, Derek Keller, back there this time. We've seen him on offense some, and he's going to take it on the left side, finds a hole, gets it to midfield, breaks a tackle, and finally forced out of bounds near the 45-yard line or just beyond that. So he's in Artesian territory. Derek Keller, good athlete. He's the one that had the pick 6 for the only touchdown for the Quakers so far. And that time a nice run for first down for the Quakers. So Plainfield for the first time tonight in the Artesian territory. 4:52 left to go in the first quarter. You're watching WRAP 15 Sports. Senior night here at Satterwoods Field, the regular season finale for both teams. And a bad snap, and it's bobbled, but still able to keep going. And finally driven backwards, and it's like that was number 26, Wes Pemberton, the freshman who met there, but I was pushed back on the other side of the 50, but forward progress had stopped well before that. I'm a little shocked that they didn't blow the whistle and stop that play. Unfortunately, that's how players get hurt. Obviously, Wes didn't do anything wrong. Just the officials did not blow the whistle, so Pemberton's wisely kept playing. 2nd and 7 coming up for the Quakers. Fortunately, Artesians couldn't capitalize on that bad snap. And up the middle, it's Burden. Burden lowers his head and gets it across the 35, and it's going to be enough for a first down. So Plainfield's running game just kind of pounding into the Artesians right now, and Artesians on this drive haven't had an answer. First 2 drives, they forced Plainfield to punt it twice. But this time, Plainfield's either figured something out or the Artesian defense has just struggled a little bit. But right now, marching downfield. Started this Plainfield at their own 25-yard line, and now they're at Artesian 35. Looks like it's Keller this time, and he goes forward across the 30 to near the 25-yard line. And on this drive, you have not seen a lot of negative plays. All these plays have gained forward momentum for the Quakers. Even on a couple plays ago on that bad snap, Plainfield was able to recover and make it a positive. Low snap this time. Keller up the middle and just keeps going. You got to give credit to Plainfield's offensive line. They just kind of keep pushing. And now another first down, and this time Plainfield is knocking on the door of the red zone, just outside the 20-yard line of the Artesians. We are just now under 3 minutes here, Sidewoods Field, and this time it's Burden, number 27, who, once again, it's just a big game. They're just getting chunks and chunks of yards. That time it's about an 8-yard pickup. It's going to bring up second and short for the Quakers. It's Logan Burden again. Same thing, that time not as much running room, but enough for the first down, I believe. So it is a first down. Let's say it's first and goal from the 10-yard line. Quakers have, let's see if the Artesians can stop a Logan Burden. That time gets stopped and not much running room. Pemberton kind of knifed his way and slowed Burden down. Burden able to still make it a positive play, but compared to some of the other runs they've had this drive, only a 3-yard pickup. Second and goal from the 7 now. And Plainfield hasn't done anything too fancy. It's basically just been runs right up the middle. We've got a stoppage of play here. Martinsville is going to call a timeout. So Coach Whitson and his defensive coaching staff going to talk some things over and try to figure some things out. Because right now, after two times out for the Artesian defense, Martinsville did an amazing job really limiting Plainfield to not much of anything. But on this drive, Plainfield has marched it downfield from their own 25 and now have it at Martinsville 7. Second goal. So we'll try to figure out what the Artesian defense can do here. There's a shot of the assistant superintendent here at Martinsville. Terry Terhune joining the game tonight. So second goal here from Satterwitz Field. And Plainfield will look over and get the play from the coaching staff. And it's a direct snap, and I think it's Keller who had that, but he was tackled and got across the 5-yard line. So a minute and a half here left in the first quarter. Third and goal from the 4-yard line. Plainfield's had it. They pretty much marched down the field. Low snap, Keller with it, and he is going to be met, and he is not going to be able to get in the end zone. Artesians kept him out. Artesian defensive player was able to knife his way in there and slow down Keller initially, and then a wall of Artesian defenders stopped him from getting into the end zone. So now fourth and goal from the 2. This would be a huge stop for the Artesians if they could keep the Quakers out of the end zone. Artesian fans who are here on their feet trying to make some noise, rally this Artesian. Low snap, and it is It's going to be close. Our officials are saying no. There's no signal of a touchdown yet. The snap was low, and Artesian stopped him. Officials are going to say they kept Plainfield out of the end zone. Now, flags come late. Now, this might be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. I'm not sure on who. The flags came well after the play, so we'll have to see what this is about. Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Plainfield. So that is a huge break for the Artesians because they were looking their offense was going to have to start from their own 2-yard line. Now they get 15 yards, and we'll get to start at their own 17-yard line. I do apologize to our listeners. We're having a little bit of static issues, so we'll bear with that. That first play was Travis Griffey on the keeper. Gets about a 4 or 5 yard pickup. 20 seconds left now. The play clock, game clock linked. Griffey's going to keep it himself. Gets it across the 20. So that'll bring up a 3rd and about 4 coming up with 6 seconds left. We'll see if Artesians they'll have to do another play, and I don't think they will. So that will do it. First quarter is over. We had 2 special teams touchdowns by the Artesians. That's why they lead at 14-7. We'll be back with the second quarter right after this.
Our definition of a relationship is being able to look you in the eye and hear about your concern, hearing about your family, hearing about your job, hearing about your aspirations, getting to know you, and positioning ourselves to help you meet those dreams. Now that sounds pretty old-fashioned, but we're not willing to give that up. We're simply not going to give that up.
For all the banking services you need, there's no place like home.
Join the majority.
And welcome back, everyone, to WREP 15 Sports. Sorry about that delay there, trying to get these headphones working, and I think we do. So get rid of that static. So I'm going to keep you up to date. What you just saw, that was a Seth Gallion interception. Seth Gallion with the pick on the first play of scrimmage there on that drive from Plainfield. So, Gallion, that's his third interception on the season. Travis Griffey in now. Quick pass to Matt Thomas. Matt Thomas, quick pass and maybe about a yard or two there on that play. Now, in the last offensive possession before that one, Artesians didn't get anything. Isaac Osborne got tackled almost immediately. He came off the field a little favoring his left shoulder, left arm. So hopefully that's not serious. Like I said during this broadcast, the last thing coaches want are to get a key player hurt. And a quick pass to Thomas. Ooh, that was nearly intercepted. That was through the hands of Matt Thomas. That's going to bring up 3rd and long. The last thing you want is to have a key player, or any player for that matter, hurt right before sectionals. So hopefully Isaac Osborne is okay and it's not a serious injury. He is not out there right now. He is on the sideline. I can't see him. But you may not see him even if he is okay, just as a precaution. We will see. There's still 10:33 left to go in the second quarter, early on in the second quarter. Travis Griffey facing a 3rd and long. And he's going to roll to his right. He's going to pass it on the far side. Has a man, and that is going to be enough for the first down. Try to see. I think that was Michael Hopple, and it was number 22 with that catch. His 16th reception of the season. So nice little rollout by Griffey, and he found Michael Hopple. So Tyler Cox in there at the running back position. Griffey's going to keep it himself, and he breaks the tackle, and he goes on the right side this time, dives forward near the first down marker for about a 9 or 10 yard run there. Travis Griffey, obviously for you watching at home, know that Griffey is not afraid to run. He's run it 142 times coming into tonight's game, 647 yards on the ground and 15 touchdowns. That time he does hand it off to Tyler Cox, who breaks the hole, gets the first down, and much more. Tyler Cox, the sophomore, he was the one that scored the last touchdown on the kickoff return. And now the Artesian offense finally in a bit of able to go in a rhythm here. And Cox has it, and that time he's held up just a little bit, but gets about a 5-yard pickup there. Cox, if he was not tackled there, he might have gone all the way to the end zone. This time, Artesian slow it up just a little bit, gets the play call from the Artesian sideline. 9.5 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. Artesian with a 14-7 lead. Final regular season game of the season, Artesians and the Quakers. Griffey looks to pass, and it is caught on the far side. And I believe that was Michael Hopple again. So that's going to be up 3rd and short, 3rd and 1, I believe, coming up for the Artesians. We'll see if Griffey, this is one of those plays, Griffey just likes to keep it himself and go right up the middle. And he does hand it off. He hands it off, though, this time to Tyler Cox, and he's able to get the first down and about a yard or two more. So another first down for Martinsville. Good to see the Artesians getting a little bit of rhythm, just haven't really been able to do that. They haven't been on the field that much for starters. But now this is the first time we've seen a Artesian drive. Griffey in the shotgun. He will keep it himself, lower the shoulder, and get 2 or 3 yards on that run. Artesians where Plainfield was at last time their offense had the ball. Artesian D definitely had a bend but don't break moment. They let the Plainfield Quakers march it all the way to the 2-yard line and then got a big 4th down stop to keep them out of the end zone. Yeah, quick pass and nearly picked off, trying to get it to Seth Gallion. Number 44 for Plainfield was right there, nearly got the pick. Mason Scott for Plainfield had his hands on it, but just couldn't haul it in. So Griffey's had a couple close calls but fortunately hasn't thrown a pick yet. Well, take that back. He did throw a pick, but can't blame that on Griffey. He was hit as soon as he threw it on the very first play of scrimmage for the Artesians. Griffey now, he's got pressure. It's a screen set up for Cox. Cox can walk into the end zone. Touchdown. Great play call from Coach Whitson and the coaching staff. The screen play, Travis Griffey found Tyler Cox wide open, and all Tyler Cox had to do was simply jog into the end zone. And the offense gets their first score of the night, but the third Artesian score overall. Extra point coming up. Urban looking to make this a 21, and it's a bad snap, and there was a flag thrown. The snap was either bobbled but the snap was not good. Caleb Urban didn't even have a chance to kick that. There is a flag thrown, so we'll have to see what this is about. Personal foul on the Quakers. So Artesians will get another chance and get to move a little bit closer, but not a huge problem for Caleb Urban. Just hopefully now that the snap and hold is a little cleaner than it was that last time. And it is, and Caleb Urban gets this up, and it is good. Caleb Urban does make it 21-7 after the penalty against the Quakers. 21-7, second quarter, 8 minutes, 12 seconds left to go in this first half. Let's give you a quick sectional preview for the Martinsville Artesians, what they have coming up. Like I said, it's a 5-team sectional. Martinsville was able to draw one of the 3 byes, so they have next week off. And there's no game next week for Martinsville. They get to rest up, prepare, gets a little extra time, and they will play Bloomington North Cougars here in 2 weeks at Siderwoods Field. It will be a game hosted by the Artesians. Bloomington North comes into tonight's matchup 2-6 on the year. They play in Conference Indiana. Terre Haute North and South, Bloomington South in that conference. Also Southport as well, as line drive kick is going to be in the end zone for another touchback. So Artesian will face the Cougars, the only team in their sectional they have not played. The other teams they've all faced in the regular season. Bloomington South, the other team that got the bye, they await the winner of the Whiteland-Franklin game. Now, Whiteland-Franklin will play next week. They did not get the bye, so that game is at Whiteland High School. Winner will play Bloomington South in 2 weeks. If the Artesians are able to win their first sectional round matchup, they will play in their second straight sectional championship, either Bloomington South or the winner of Whiteland and Franklin next week. So that's kind of a little sectional preview. Back to action here. Handoff, and this time nowhere to go. Try to see who that was. I think that was Izzy Elliott got in there on the tackle. Also Jacob Burkett in there. And finally, Artesian defense gets a stop. Last time Plainfield had it, they had it one play and threw an interception to Seth Gallion. But the drive before that was their best drive. They kind of pounded it and ran it all the way from their own 25 to the 2-yard line. But the Artesians stopped him, kept him out of the end zone on 4th and 2. Pemberton, he's going to show pressure, and they're going to stop it. And it's going to be a procedure penalty against the Artesians. I'm going to believe they're going to call this on number 26, Wes Pemberton. Nope, actually, check that. It was a false start by Plainfield. Wes Pemberton kind of raised his hands like, hey, I didn't do anything. And he didn't, apparently. So the officials will call a false start. Now, he might have caused the offensive lineman to jump a little bit because he came in there looking like he was going to blitz, and that might have caused one of the linemen to jump, cause that penalty. 7.5 minutes left to go in this first half. 2nd and long for the Quakers. Low snap, hands it off. And, oh, big hit. Logan Burden got tripped up, and when he turned, he got a shot I couldn't tell if that was Izzy Elliott or Will Nix. I know Will Nix is a hard-hitting safety. He might have given Burden the shot. That was a big hit. Pass play coming, and it is well overthrown. So that pass incomplete, the throw by Vanderbush, and that will force a Plainfield punt. So a 3-and-out forced by the Artesian defense. Nice job. Artesian defense has done a great job. Take away that long drive, but like I said, the bend but don't break. They kept Plainfield out of the end zone, so did not give up any points, and that's the most important thing for a defense. Snap is good, and little pressure, nearly got a second block punt of the night. That is going to take a Plainfield roll, though, and it will be downed at the 25-yard line. So great punt there by Plainfield, especially the pressure that Nichols received from the Artesians. I think that was Garrett Miles who came in. He was the one that scooped and scored on the first block punt. That time he's the one that brought a little pressure. But the punter got a friendly Quaker roll. And it will be marked at the 25-yard line. That's where the Artesian offense will take over with 6:33 left to go in the second quarter. They lead 21-7. I think Isaac Osborne is back in the game, and a wide open. And let's see, that looks like it might be number 9, Brian Johnson, and it is. And Johnson was wide open. Not for sure how he got that up wide open, but easy catch for him, and he gets it across the 40-yard line for an easy first down for the Artesians. Osborne this time, and he breaks through to the second level. And he gets tackled right at midfield. Good to see Isaac Osborne back out there. He a little shaken up coming off earlier, but looks to be okay. That's a good run by him, about a 9-yard pickup. Ball's at midfield. Griffey pitches it to Osborne. Osborne takes it to the 45, gets tackled from behind at the 40-yard line. Another first down for the Artesians. There is a penalty, though, at the 50-yard line. We'll have to see. Unfortunately, this might be coming back. We will wait and see. And it is going to be a holding against the Artesians. So that run by Osborne will come back. And we'll do the second down all over again. That's unfortunate. That brings it all the way back the 40-yard line, so about a 10-yard loss on that play. Wipes out a nice Isaac Osborne run. We'll see if we can do it again. 2nd and 11, 5:48 left to go in the first half here at Satterwoods Field. Senior night. Last regular season game, believe it or not. The season has gone by awfully quick. Cold and damp night at Satterwoods Field. Pitches it this time on the other side. Osborne has it. Tries to beat a man, and nice open field tackle there on the far side of the Plainfield Quaker defender. If Osborne can get past him, he's got probably the first down. Third down coming up for the Artesians. 3rd and about 8. Griffey back to pass, good protection, and don't know if we had a little miscommunication on that, but nowhere close was that pass. As had a receiver streaking down the sideline, Michael Hopple, but so Artesian's going to bring out the punting unit here. And I was not at the Mooresville game last week, unfortunately, but I did hear there was several times that the Artesian would get a big run or a big play, and it would have to come back due to a penalty, and that's what happened a couple plays ago on that holding penalty. But Caleb Urban on the punt. It's going to be taken at the 20, Up the sideline at the 40, and he's still going, finally driven out of bounds. Let's see where they mark it, right at midfield or just beyond. So a good return by Plainfield, and they'll be set up in Artesian territory at the Martinsville 49-yard line near midfield. So a good return on the punt and a good starting field position for the Quakers. So Plainfield has 4 minutes, 42 seconds left in this first half. They're down 2 touchdowns. Let's see what they do. Plainfield, a running team. Passed it a few times, but Artesians have got the best on them once, and this time it's a handoff on the other side. Hard hit there, just shy of the 40-yard line. It's like Will Nix in there. Izzy Elliott also in there on that tackle. It's about a 7-yard pickup. Hands off up the middle, and not much after he gets to the 40-yard line. That's 21 for Plainfield on the carry. It's Ricky Alsum, a junior. 3rd and short coming up for the Quakers. This may be 4-down territory for them. We'll see. See if the Artesians can get a stop, and they'll give it to Alsum again, and he's going to be short of the first down, maybe lost about a yard on that play. Got tripped up pretty quick. 4th and 2 now for the Quakers. Let's see if this changes Coach Woodard's plans. Looks like offense is still out on the field. Big 4th down play here for the Artesians. Low snap, and it is going to be a first down and much more. That is going to be not only a first down, but a touchdown. Logan Burden with the touchdown, his 3rd touchdown of the season. So Artesians kind of loaded up the box, trying to keep the Plainfield from getting the 4th down, and once Burden got to the 2nd level, there was no one there to stop him. So Plainfield with the touchdown, and low snap. Kick is, though, up and good. So it's 21-14. Plainfield offense gets their first score of the night. So Martinsville's offense, Plainfield offense, each have scored once. Martinsville's special teams twice, and Plainfield does have that pick 6. So that's kind of your scoring breakdown for the first half. 3:07 left to go. So the Artesian offense still have plenty of time to maybe put another score up and go in with a 2-touchdown lead at halftime. Martinsville will get the football to start the second half. Artesians come in at 6-2 overall, 4-2 in the Mid-State Conference. A note here, the last time that the Artesians won 7 games in the regular season was about 5 years ago. 2013 season was the last time an Artesian football team went into sectionals with 7 wins. So it's been a while since Martinsville had this many wins in the regular season, if they can knock off the Quakers tonight. The line drive kick. It's going to take a bounce, and it's going to be taken around the 10-yard line. Will Nix lowers his shoulder and gets across the 25 to about the 27-yard line. So good run there by Will Nix. So Artesia will have about 3 minutes left. So here we go. We'll see what the Artesian offense brings here to close out the first half. Fakes the handoff, long pass, A good blocking downfield, but there is going to be a flag. Cuts back in, and this is a great play by Seth Gallion, but this might come back. I think the official is going to say Michael Hopple there on the far side, holding a little bit. I was saying good blocking by Michael Hopple on that far side, but the officials are going to say the reason it was so good is because he was holding on to the defender. So another great play taken away on a holding penalty. Second time that that's been called and really hurt the Artesians. It's going to bring up first and long for Martinsville. 2:50 left to go now. We'll see what Coach Whitson, if this changes his play calling any. So a great play call there. Artesians able to get a big gain by Seth Gallion. However, the holding penalty took that away, and we're going to try it on the other side this time. Gallion makes a guy, and I thought he had him missed, but good job of the Plainfield defender holding on to Gallion, not letting him get away. Michael Thomas trying to block, but Plainfield was able to get by him and bring down Gallion for a short gain. Could have been big. It's a play you got to be really careful, because if a defender jumps that route, there's no one in front of him to stop him. And far side there, it's caught. Michael Hopple, he's got it, and he's got the first down. Gets it out to about the 40-yard line. Nice blocking there on that far side to help spring Michael Hopple for some extra yards and get the first down. So a good first down play, under 2 minutes to go. Artesian, 2 timeouts left here in the first half. They're trying to put more points on the board. Hands it off up the middle. I think that was Isaac Osborne who took that. Maybe about a 4-yard pickup on that run. And Martinsville will call one of their 2 timeouts they have left. Stopping the clock with 1:37 left to go. Second and about 6 coming up for the Artesians out of this timeout. Artesians looking to just have some positive momentum going into sectionals. So this game may be a little bit more important than some people would think. I mean, obviously, Artesians, this game doesn't have any trophies or anything involved in it. Or like Martinsville, mathematically still in the race for the Mid-State Conference, but would take a big upset by both Franklin and Perry Meridian, and you would share that Mid-State crown with Mooresville, Decatur Central, and I believe also Whiteland, so it would be a 4-way tie. But that would mean that Franklin and Perry Meridian would have to upset Mooresville and Decatur Central. But you want to get this win to just build some positive momentum. Artesians have lost 2 of their last 3 games they played, so really looking to build something here off this game. Going to fake the pitch. Griffey's going to keep it this time and take it across the 45. 1:28 left to go. They're going to hurry up and try to keep that 1 timeout they've got left. 3rd and about 4 coming up for the Artesians. Ball near midfield, about the 46 of the Quakers. Going to take the play from the sideline. I think he tried to get Plainfield to jump. Plainfield not jumping. Now we're got under a minute here, so if they do get the first down, they're really going to have to move a little bit. Griffey fakes the pitch, fakes out the Plainfield defender, gets it across midfield for the first down. Great play by Travis Griffey. He faked that pitch to Tyler Cox, and I believe the Plainfield defender bid on it, allowed him to go. So we get the change set, and we're going. Griffey fakes it. Going to be a pass play, but he's in trouble, and he will go down. It's a sack at the 45-yard line. Coach Whitson will call his last timeout with 37 seconds left. So one thing you cannot have happen is a sack like that, because the clock keeps rolling and you lose a bunch of yards, which is exactly what happened on that play. 21-14 is your score. Artesians lead it by a touchdown. And they will get the ball to start the second half. Artesians come back on the field after using their final timeout. Second long coming up for Martinsville. No timeouts left, so need a first down or go out of bounds to stop the clock. Griffey, he's got all kinds of pressure, and it was tried to screen, but it was tipped. Incomplete pass. It was a good play call, because if that is a clean pass and it doesn't get tipped and that's caught, that's going to be a big, big gain for the Artesians. But unfortunately, somebody got their hands on it and caused the incomplete pass. So third and long, 33 seconds left. Plainfield does have timeouts, so if Martinsville does not get the first down, you may see Coach Woodard call a timeout to see if he can get something to happen. Griffey, he's going to throw it up to Thomas. Incomplete. Thomas was there. I don't know if it was a bad throw or Thomas didn't run the route exactly. Looked like Thomas was going to be cutting back in, and Griffey kind of threw that like he was going to be cutting back toward the sideline. So Caleb Urban will punt this with 27 seconds left. And it's going to be a line drive kick, and it's going to roll out of bounds pretty quick, so not a huge roll for the Artesians, and Plainfield will have it at the their own 35-yard line of 21 seconds and change left. So the first quarter flew by, the second quarter taking a little bit longer. Artesians are leading this game by a touchdown thanks to two special team plays. First one was a block punt that was scooped up and taken to the end zone by Garrett Miles, and then the second one was a kickoff return by Tyler Cox, and a quick tackle there behind the line of scrimmage. Try to see who that was. I could not see, but that will do it. Plainfield, they won't even run another play, so that'll do it here in the first half at Ciderwoods Field. Senior night for the Martinsville Artesians. They lead at 21-14. We will be back with the second half right after this.
Sportsmanship doesn't happen just on the court or on the field or on the mat. It doesn't happen only in the pool or on the green or the track. It also happens in the stands, on the sidelines, on the web, and at home. That's because sportsmanship is everyone's responsibility. We remind you to practice good sportsmanship at all high school sporting events. Treat athletes and officials with respect during competition and especially in social media. And support your team's coaching staff. Remember, sportsmanship has a face, yours. A message from your high school and the Indiana High School Athletic Association.
And welcome back, everyone. WREP 15 Sports. Eric Burns here. Give the second half at Ciderwoods Field of the Martinsville Artesians Plainfield Quakers senior night here at Ciderwoods Field. Last regular season game for both teams. Sectionals start next week, but not for Martinsville. They have a week off. They drew the bye in their sectional, so they will have an extra week to recover, prepare for their sectional opponent Bloomington North. Hands off up the middle. And not much running room there. Still churning some legs, trying to get some extra yards, but there's not maybe a yard on that run. That was Tyler Cox with the carry, but only got about a yard there. Interesting to see what Coach Whitson does here. Obviously, you have the lead. I mentioned, you kind of have to think, weigh your odds as far as, what you want to give up and stuff to prepare for sectionals. A bad snap, hurries it. Travis Griffey got hit right as he threw. Fortunately, that fell incomplete. Plainfield brought a little pressure from that far side, and Griffey just got it away. So it's going to bring up 3rd and long, so not really the best way you want to start this second half. We'll see if Artesian offense can turn it around in this 3rd down play. Passing situation. Good snap. He's got Matt Thomas, and Thomas caught it. What a catch by Matt Thomas. Had a defender all over his back as soon as he got it, but he was able to hang on. Has quite the size difference between Matt Thomas and the defender. Matt Thomas 6'4", against Hunter Herbeck, who's 5'6", so he's almost a foot taller than his defender. Griffey rolling to his right, trying to find a corner, is able to at least make that a positive play, but not much there. Plainfield did a good job of stringing out that play, forcing Griffey to run about 15 yards for only about a yard or two. Second down, Plainfield showing blitz. Quick pass. Michael Hoppel cannot escape the defender, but is able to make the reception, make this 3rd and manageable for the Artesians. Just underway here in the second half. Artesians looking to get to 7 wins in the regular season for the first time in about 5 years. 2013 season was when the Artesians last did that. And hands it off up the middle and try to see if that's good extra effort there to get the first down. That's Tyler Cox with the run. That extra dive was enough to get him the first down. So right at midfield, Artesians have a fresh set of downs. Moving the chains nicely. Had a nice pass from Griffey to Thomas earlier to get a first down on 3rd and long, and then that time the run by Tyler Cox. Griffey in the shotgun, back to pass, got a little bit of pressure. Hoppel threw it just behind him. There is a flag that's thrown late. We'll have to see what this is about. Flags laying between the 35-40 yard line there on the far side. It was thrown right as the ball fell incomplete, so I don't know if we have a pass interference or a defensive holding. We'll get the official call from the referee here. It's going to be pass interference on the Quakers, so that penalty will be some free yards for the Artesians. So the pass interference gives the Artesians 15 yards. Ball will be at the 35-yard line. So pass interference in high school, not automatic first down, but that time it was, being 1st and 10. Martins would love to score here on this opening drive in the second half. Still have 35 yards to get there. Fakes the pass. Ooh, Griffey was trying to get up the middle, but tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Nice tackle there by the Plainfield defender. Not fooled by the fake that Griffey gave him, and ended up being about a 1 or 2 yard loss on that play. Griffey back there, Tyler Cox with him. Have not seen Isaac Osborne yet. We may not. Like I said, pass to Michael Hoppel. Michael Hoppel stutter step a little bit, dives forward, gets near the first down marker, going to be about a yard or two shy of it. Isaac Osborne got banged up a little bit in that first half. He was able to go out and play and had some decent runs, but maybe as a precaution, Coach Whitson decided to pull him. You don't want him to suffer an injury before sectionals, so give him some rest. Tyler Cox, the sophomore, up the middle. He's going to cut back on the outside. Can he get the corner? Get tackled from behind, but not before he gets across the 10-yard line to about the 8. So even though Isaac Osborne is not out there, Tyler Cox, who's already has a 95-yard kickoff return for touchdown, he's got one touchdown on a screen pass. Going to give it to him again, but that time not as much running room. Second and goal for the Artesians. Tyler Cox doing a nice job, nice game tonight so far. Looks like some umbrellas popping up in the Martinsville crowd, so it looks like the rain beginning to fall, maybe pick up a little bit. It's raining on and off all game. Not really anything too hard, but enough moisture out there. I can actually start to see a little bit of the rain falling. Griffey's going to keep it, but he is going to be tackled. Nothing going for Artesians. Is tackled maybe behind the line of scrimmage there, so it's going to bring up third and goal from the 9-yard line. Griffey not had a whole lot of success on the ground. Plainfield's really done a good job of keeping him in check with his legs, but he has had some nice moments with his arms. Had some good passing moments in that first half, and then a couple so far in this second. Gives it to Cox, and Cox is tackled. Gets maybe 2 or 3 yards back, and we're going to send out the kicking unit and at least get points out of this drive, as Caleb Urban will try it out with his kicking unit to try and convert this. About a 25-yard field goal is what we're looking at from the right hash mark. Caleb Urban, great kicker. Unfortunately, did miss one last week. See if he can get this one through. Kick is up. It is good. The 25-yard field goal by Caleb Urban, the senior, extends the Martinsville lead 24-14. So a positive drive. You get points out of it. Don't get into the end zone like you want. Plainfield defense tightened up after the long play by Tyler Cox to get the Artesians inside the Plainfield 10, but Plainfield defense stiffened up a little bit and kept the Artesians out of the end zone. Returned that favor when the Artesians stopped Plainfield in the first half when they had it 4th and 2. Stopped them at the 1-yard line. Drive took about 5 minutes, a little more than 5 minutes off the clock there. Ended in 3 points for the Artesians. Caleb Urban has kicked this into the end zone every time. Let's see what he does here. And that's going to be taken at about the 10-yard line, so this will be returnable. And up the middle and tackled at the 35-yard line. So a good return by Plainfield will start them in good field position. Artesian defense has done a nice job. 14 points for Plainfield. 7 of those points came on a pick six on the first play from the Artesian offense. Second touchdown came from the Plainfield offense. Artesians had Plainfield 4th and 2 at the Artesian 40, and running back was able to find a hole and go all the way to the end zone untouched. And that time Martinsville does not allow any yards as that Quaker running back ran into a wall, nowhere to go. Hands it off, coming here on the near side. Tackle behind the line of scrimmage. Nice job. Good job of the Martinsville team to stretch that out. Looks like Burkett, Pemberton in there on the play. Sure, Coach Whitson would love to extend this lead here in this third quarter. Let the fourth quarter get some of his JV players, maybe some of the seniors who don't get to play much in, as this play is going to go down. I think that's Logan Byram, number 77. Also, Ben Marino was in there chasing the quarterback, number 15, Vanderbush. Logan Byron brought him down on the sack. Is there a penalty flag, though? I can't see it, but it looks like there is one. We'll have to see what the penalty marker is going to be. And it's going to be a face mask against the Artesians. So, unfortunately, the sack will not quite be. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty. So in high school, it's have a 5 and a 15-yard. So it looks like somebody might have just grazed the face mask of the quarterback there. I don't know if that was Marino going after him or Logan Byram, either one, but still a good play. Still brings up 3rd and long for Plainfield, but good play by Marino and Logan Byram on that time. It's another passing play, pump fake, and a wide open, and it's cannot hang on to it, and a flag comes late. Will Nix hit the receiver, number 9, who was kind of bobbling the football. Let's bring him Wust. We'll have to see what this penalty is about. It's laying about midfield where Will Nix and the receiver collided. Receiver never fully caught the football, was kind of bobbling it the whole time. Personal foul, targeting, they say, against the Artesians. So if this is going to be a 15-yard penalty, it will be enough for a first down for Plainfield. So it will be a first down. It's 3rd and 13, and the 15-yard penalty gives enough for the Quaker first down. So Will Nix with a good hard hit, but said it was toward the head or neck area. We'll see what this is, a penalty or just I do not see a flag. I don't think there was a penalty. I just don't think the officials were quite ready for Plainfield to snap it. They snapped it a little too quick, so we'll start it over again. 1st and 10, 4:48 left to go in the third quarter here. Artesians started with the football in this half. They ended up with a field goal. Plainfield driving a little bit here. Quarterback's going to keep it, Vanderbush, and he breaks one tackle, but tackled just as he crosses the 50-yard line. Martinsville defense has done a good job. Plainfield has just been benefited by some Artesian penalties. The biggest one was the targeting penalty, or whatever it's titled here at high school football, but it was a 15-yard penalty and gave Plainfield just enough for their first down. Hands it off right up the middle this time. Ooh, hard hit. I think that was Pemberton who met him first. So that's going to be positive yards, but a tough hit by the Artesians. 3rd and short coming up for the Quakers. Three and a half minutes left to go. 3rd and short. Direct handoff and tackled from behind the line. The ball comes loose, and it's picked up. And the Artesians recover it. Number 46 with the recovery, Chris Brown. So the Artesians with their second takeaway of the night. Seth Gallion had an interception in the first half and now a fumble recovery. Artesians turnover ratio doing really well. 2-1 came into tonight. 18 takeaways only 9 turnovers. Now, granted, the Artesians did turn it over on the interception in the first play, but they have forced 2 turnovers from Plainfield. So now the offense gets to take over. Quick pass. Thomas gets it near the Artesian sideline. That's enough for about a 6-yard pickup. So Matt Thomas with the reception. Hands it off. Tyler Cox, huge hole. He's got blockers in front of him and gets it across the 25 to about the 24-yard line. Tyler Cox with a nice run, nice blocking up front by the Artesians. The Artesians offense now looking to put some points up here on the board and start to stretch this lead a little bit more, make this fourth quarter a little easier for Coach Whitson and the coaching staff. Hands it off. Cox, once again, right up the middle. He's going to cut outside. Can he get a corner? He does. Touchdown. I think Matt Thomas with a nice little chip block to spring Tyler Cox there at the end of that run. And Tyler Cox, his 3rd touchdown of the night. One a receiving touchdown, that one a rushing touchdown. Then in the first quarter, a kickoff return touchdown. Done it 3 different ways. And Artesians are possibly able to make this a 17-point game. And it is, and we've got a late flag. This is going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. This might be against Plainfield again. That flag was thrown way late, well after the kick was good. So we'll see what the penalty is. There is a penalty flag near the 5-yard line. It is an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Believe that's going to be against Plainfield. It's a second unsportsmanlike conduct penalty by the Quakers tonight. Their first unsportsmanlike conduct penalty was after the Artesians stopped them on 4th and 1 and really helped out Martinsville's offense by, instead of having to start at the 1-yard line, they could start at the 16. So this one will be, I believe, assessed at the kickoff. We'll have to see. So Coach Whitson, Martinsville's kicking team, will get to kick from the 45-yard line. So we'll see if this changes anything. Caleb Urban's kicked almost all of his kickoffs into the end zone. This time, though, he gets to kick from 45, already in Plainfield territory. We'll see what he does. And just kicks it into the end zone. Hits the back of the end zone. So 2:39, Artesians with a 31-14 lead. $17-point lead for the Artesians. We will see if Artesians score again. You might see some second-string players coming in. Incomplete pass. Good effort there by the Plainfield receiver, diving out for it, but could not quite haul it in. Senior night here at Ciderwoods Field. Crowd, not probably the smallest crowd this season, but obviously because of the cold, rain, the elements, makes a little bit more sense. Artesian crowd has been great all year round. That run play for Plainfield doesn't get much. Ben Balserac in there on the tackle. So 3rd and about 8 coming up for the Quakers. I heard the Mooresville game last week. Crowd on both sides was electric. They even brought in some temporary stands to have some extra people. Pass play, and that's well over the head of the intended receiver, Garrett Miles, right there with him. So this is going to bring up a punt situation by Plainfield. And Martinsville, they've blocked one punt, and they came awfully close to doing it again. That man, Garrett Miles, was able to scoop up the first block and take it to the end zone. So we'll see what the Artesians do here as far as any pressure. Plainfield's going to show that they're going to go for it here, but this might be just a quick punt. And it's exactly what it is. It's going to take a bounce, and Seth Gown's just going to let it roll all the way to the 30-yard line, just outside the 30-yard line, so about the 28-yard line, and that's where Martinsville's offense will take over. Now, Martinsville can score in 1 minute and 44 seconds here. You may see Coach Whitson empty out his bench a little bit, give his starters a bit of a break, and let some other players take over as Martinsville will prepare for sectionals. But still a quarter left to go. Artesians with a 31-14 lead. Griffey just going to hand it off. Tyler Cox, who's had a big night. Not much running room on that play. So no gain, and bring up second down coming up. Griffey going to keep it himself. And not a whole lot there. Maybe got a yard, but not a lot of holes for Travis Griffey. There's been plenty of holes for Tyler Cox and Isaac Osborne in that first half, but Griffey just not a whole lot of success with his legs. But like I said, his passing numbers have looked good so far. You take away that first play, but you can't really blame that on Travis. He got hit immediately as he tried to throw that away. So passing game has been good, especially on a cold, rainy night. That's good to see. You know, the Artesians can run the ball, so if they can get the passing game going. Oh, and it's picked up by Tyler Cox. That was fortunate to be picked up. That Plainfield did not let that Martinsville develop that play at all. It was going to be just a quick speed option on the right side, and Griffey got hit immediately. So the clock will probably run out here for the Artesians. 12 seconds left. They do not have to run a play, 4th and long. So we'll more than likely see a punting situation for the Artesians to start the fourth quarter. We'll bring you that fourth quarter right after this on WRAP 15 Sports.
Join the majority.
Our definition of a relationship is being able to look you in the eye and hear about your concern, hearing about your family, hearing about your job, hearing about your aspirations, getting to know you, and positioning ourselves to help you meet those dreams. Now that sounds pretty old-fashioned, but we're not willing to give that up. We're simply not going to give that up.
For all the banking services you need, there's no place like home.
Welcome back, WRAP 15 Sports. Caleb Irvin gets the punt away, takes a high bounce right over the return man, and he's not going to pick it up until he does last minute at the 10. Some good blocking for Plainfield. Does get it across the 25, but fortunate to do that. That was number 27, Logan Burton, who's had some nice runs, has 1 touchdown tonight. That took a great hop for the Artesians, that Caleb Urban punt over the head of the return man, and he looked like he was just going to let it die at the 10-yard line, but picked it up kind of last minute, had a couple good blocks from the return team and was able to get it out across the 25. So we'll see what Plainfield does here. Artesian defense really great in the third quarter. And quick pass, and it is incomplete behind and a little bit low, the sliding receiver. And we've got an injured Plainfield player. Try to see what happened there. It looked like that might have been the player, the receiver, that slid to try and pick up that pass. Brigham Wust, a junior, 5'9", 166-pound player. This is what you hate to see. It's the last thing you want as a coach, as a fan, as a player, to see a player go down this late in the season, especially with tournament time coming up. So hopefully it is not anything serious. Plainfield, they do have to play next week. They play next week. They have a 5-team sectional as well. Unfortunately, they were not one of the teams that were able to get a bye. And they've got a very tough contest next week against the Irish of Cathedral. Now, Cathedral is 4-4, I believe, on the record coming into tonight's game. But you cannot look at that record on that Cathedral team because they play some powerhouse schools, especially in the state of Kentucky and Ohio. Sometimes play some of those private schools that are just really strong football programs. So that 4-4 record, you can't look at and be like, well, maybe they're not as good as they have been. Plainfield, the Plainfield player kind of gingerly walking off the field, not putting a whole lot of weight on that leg. So hopefully the Plainfield player is okay. I don't think we will see him anymore tonight regardless. So 11:41 left to go in the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter just starting. 2nd and 10 coming up for the Quakers. Artesians with a 31-14 lead. Quarterback is going to keep this one. Gets a nice run, and Garrett Miles with the tackle. Could be a touchdown-saving tackle possibly, but that was number 10, Derek Keller, who's had some nice runs. So a big run there for Keller. Keller's going to keep it this time and not get as much running room there. Artesian defense has only given up 7 points tonight. The other point was given on the defense from Plainfield. Killer trying to get to the right side. That time he has met a couple of players in the Artesian defense. Logan Byram in there. West Pemberton also. Jacob Burkett maybe in there on that play. Third and long coming up for the Quakers. Artesian defense looking to force a 4th down here. Pass play. Throws. It is over the head of his intended receiver in heavy traffic. So 4th down coming up for Artesians. We'll see what Plainfield does here. Late in the game, 31-14. Quakers down 17 points. Plainfield all night has played without arguably their best player, Tavion Gadia, who has not played. Like I said, don't know if that's an injury or a coach's decision. We'll see what Plainfield does here. Will they go for it, or will they do their quick punt that they've done a couple times so far tonight? Looks like it's going to be just a quick kick, and it is. It's going to bounce and stay in bounds. It'll across the 25, and about the 24-yard line is where it'll be marked, or just outside the 25-yard line. So Artesian offense will take over. 10-12 left to go in the game. They've got a 31-14 lead. We'll see who Coach Whitson trots out there. Will it be the starting unit still, or will we see some fresh faces? Looks to be the starting unit still. Got no problems with that. Obviously, 17 points isn't a huge, huge lead, and still basically a full quarter left to play. So Coach Whitson obviously wants to get this win. Would go to 7-2 if they are able to get it. Their first time to have 7 wins in the regular season since 2013. Griffey keeps it. This time he finds a hole. Goes up the middle, lowers his shoulder, gets it across the 40-yard line. And that is the best run of the night for Travis Griffey. Griffey will try to keep it again. This time another good run. About 6-7 yards there on that run. So Travis Griffey's legs starting to find some holes. And Martinsville in no hurry here to snap the football with the 17-point lead. Just maybe going to milk this clock as much as they can the rest of the game. Griffey going to keep it himself on the right side. He's got some running room, has some blockers in front, gets it across near the 40-yard line. Big run, so 3 straight runs by Travis Griffey. They've gone for big gains. Under 9 minutes left to go in this fourth quarter, and Artesians are just going to take as much time as they need. And Tyler Cox breaks a tackle, still on his feet, and gets tackled near the first down, maybe a yard or two shy of it, but a good 8-yard run by Tyler Cox. Martinsville play clock at 6. Snaps it. Balls fall on the ground, and Griffey's got to pick it up. Try to do kind of like a read option play, and Griffey and Tyler Cox, I don't think could quite figure out who wanted the football, and fell to the ground. Ended up costing Martinsville about 7 or 8 yards. So 3rd and long coming up for the Artesians. And fakes it to Tyler Cox. Griffey going up to Thomas, who could not catch up to it. So it's a rare time that Griffey on that option play decide to pass it. Typically it's hands it off or takes it himself. That time tried to find Matt Thomas going down the Artesian sideline here, but could not quite connect. Artesian's going to stay out here, 4th down, have the lead, and they're going to cause someone to move. I don't know if it was Plainfield who jumped or if one of the offensive linemen caused them to jump. I do not know. We will see what the play call here is, and it's a false start on the Artesians. So that's going to be 4th and even longer. So this may see what Coach Whitson does here now, 4th and 13. coming up. Will he just punt it away, give it back to Plainfield, or is he going to try and go for it on 4th and 13? Griffey's still out there. Now, he has done the quick kick before, like Plainfield's done a few times here. 8 seconds on the play clock. 3 seconds. They do snap it in. It's a quick punt. Griffey, can he keep it out of the end zone? He cannot, so it will be a touchback. Plainfield will have it at the 25-yard line. Artesians looking at their defensive unit. Most of the starting defensive players still out there. Plainfield hands it off around the right side. Logan Burden that time, and nowhere to go. Might have lost a yard or two. Tackled on that far sideline. I think Logan Byram in there again. He's had a nice second half. Quarterback takes over on the right side, gets kind of upended near the sideline. Not much running room there. It's Cale Vanderbush. Cale Vanderbush, the not the starting quarterback typically. Only a freshman Vanderbush is, I believe. Yep. Got a freshman quarterback starting varsity level, and I'm sure that's not the plan Coach Woodard had in mind, but sometimes that's what happens. Injuries happen to players, and you've got to adjust. 3rd and 11 now. Vanderbush back to pass. Has a man, but it is, nearly picked off. Garrett Miles almost had the pick. It hit him in the hands, just could not bring it down. That would have been his 4th interception on the season. You have to remember, this was a 21-14 game at halftime. Plainfield was in this, and then the Artesians just kind of dominated that 3rd quarter. Plainfield runs on a player, but Coach Woodard's going to call a timeout. A little miscommunication on who should be out there, I think. Yeah, the Artesians only had a 7-point lead going into the locker room, 21-14. They got the ball to start the 3rd quarter, able to march it downfield, get a field goal out of it, so they got points. Defense did a nice job, and Artesians were able to put 2 touchdowns on the board. Defense has really done a nice job this second half. Really all game. They've only given up 7 points this game. And now, granted, Plainfield has had some players that have been injured or did not play today. So Plainfield's been hit by the injury bug, but so is the Artesians. Andy Myers, one of the receivers, one of the leading receivers, got hurt in the Greenwood game, 3rd game of the season. That was after he had a breakout game against Wilmington South. Now you may be able to get him back, possibly, for the sectional game in 2 weeks. High, slow snap, and that ball was blocked, and that's going to go out of bounds, and Artesians will have it inside the 20. Another blocked punt for the Artesians. That might have been number 44, Will Nix, who got his hand on that. Special teams have really been a standout for the Artesians in this game. And now we're going to see some of those. Xavier Tinnitus is out there. Some other new faces for the Artesians. Matt LaFerry also out there. I think Ryan Hickey's out there as well. Handoff up the middle. Not much running room, maybe a yard on that carry. That looks like it might be Ben Balsarak that had that carry, number 47. So Ben Balsarak with that carry. Artesians in no hurry. Let the play clock get down to probably 5 seconds before they snap it. Tinnitus hands it off. Ben Balsarak up the middle. Still on his feet, dives and could not quite make it. About a yard short. Ben Balsarak, starting linebacker, playing running back for the Artesians. Artesians looking to punch it in here. Extend this lead, put an exclamation point on tonight and the regular season. Xavier in the shotgun. Balsarak's to his right. Let's see if Balsarak's going to get it. He does, but Balsarak this time is met. Still fighting for extra yards and actually got about a yard. Looked like it was going to be no gain or loss, but Ben Balsarak kept the legs going, at least got half a yard. Second goal. Got Hickey, Hopple, and LaFerry lined up at the right. Balsarak takes it. Is he in? No call from the official yet. They're going to say he's short. Balsarak got inside the 1 yard line, so this is going to be half yard going quick. Xavier Tinnitus. And we've got flags everywhere. False start on, I think, the entire offensive line. There was a lot of movement up front there. So it was 3rd and goal from about the half-yard line. Now it's going to be from about the 6 yard line. So we'll see if this changes the play calling a little bit for Coach Whitson. See if he has Xavier put in the air on this play or keeps it to Ben Balsarak, who's got the Artesians this far. 4 seconds on the play clock. Xavier Tinnitus has to snap it. He does. Gives it to Balsarak. Balsarak around the, and there's a flag. That might be another holding call for the Artesians, so this one might even come back further. So Plainfield will go ahead and decline that penalty, bring up 4th down. So this will bring up kicking unit. Caleb Urban just try to add some more points. He's already made one from about 25 yards. This one a little closer, maybe 23 yards on this one. Coach Whitson's going to go ahead and call a timeout, just get that clock wind down as far as he could. So 2:48 is what's left on the game clock. Artesians looks like we'll go to 7-2 on the season, 5-2 on the conference. Artesians have some big wins. Beat Bedford North Lawrence to open that season up. And if you look at Bedford North Lawrence, they haven't lost a game since. Bedford North Lawrence, their only loss has been to the Artesians. Got a big win against Bloomington South here at home in the home opener. Also beat Greenwood. Big win against Decatur Central. And then at Franklin have that win streak. And then against Whiteland, unfortunately, that was your first loss the Artesians had. They came back and beat Perry Meridian handily. And then last week, that heartbreaking loss at Mooresville on the last-second field goal, and going to get a win here against Plainfield to close out the season. Kick is up, and it is good, 34-14. Artesians with a 20-point lead with 2:48 left to go. I'd like to take this opportunity. I know we were able to broadcast a little bit before the game started, senior night festivities. So thank all the members of the Martinsville football staff, the 23, I believe, seniors is how many seniors are on this football team. Thank them, especially, they endured two pretty rough seasons early on as freshmen and sophomores, but then Coach Witz and his coaching staff came and turned this program around, and they were able to enjoy some success last year and even more so this year. So thank them, the senior managers, cheerleaders, and also senior band members as well. They were honored at halftime, put on a show during halftime. So thank all those seniors. Good luck with whatever life brings you. 2:48 left to go. Caleb Urban kicks that off, and it will go into the end zone like most of his kicks tonight. 2:48 left to go. Still have most of the starting squad from defense still in here, so I guess Coach Whitson just doesn't want to give up anything big, quick. So starting defense still out there. 2:48 left to go. Hands it off up the middle. And breaks the tackle, but doesn't do much after that. Now get some new players coming in. 13-21. It's Adam Field, Larry Bland coming in for the Martinsville Artesians, in for Gallion and Miles. Back to pass. Pressure and incomplete. Pressure there from 37, Zach Petty. Nigel Bryant also in there. Number 42 coming onto the field, Logan Burpo. The linebacker spot. 52 comes off Andrew Ball. A little shaken up on that play. Rolling rights and tackled just shy of the 30-yard line. Brings up fourth down. Clock's going to go under 2 minutes here. Plainfield more than likely just going to punt this away. Once again, this might be just a quick kick. Minute and a half left to go in this game. Artesian's going to win this one. Quick kick. And that will go out of bounds. We'll see where the official marks it. 45-yard line. So Artesians will go to 7-2. The sectional game will be not next week. They get the bye, so they will play 2 weeks from today here at Ciderwoods Field against the Bloomington North Cougars. Last time Martinsville played Bloomington North was 4 years ago. I think Coach Rose's first year. That was at Bloomington North. Halloween night snow is what happened on that game, and Martinsville was able to get the win. So Bloomington North this time will come here to Ciderwoods Field in 2 weeks. Hands off up the middle. Ben Balsarak, I think, breaks the tackle, still going to the sideline, but there is a flag that may bring this back. So another big play taken away by a penalty, and I know it's 1:16 in the fourth quarter, but I'm sure that does not make Coach Whitson happy. I know that happened a few times against Mooresville. Martinsville had some big plays like that, and then they were taken away by a penalty. But the Artesians do play in 2 weeks, Bloomington North sectional game. If they win, they will be in the sectional championship for the second straight year. Bloomington South will play either Whiteland or Franklin, who plays next week. If Whiteland or Franklin ends up winning that game, Martinsville would host the sectional championship game. If Bloomington South wins their game and Martinsville wins theirs, the game would be at Bloomington South. So if you follow that, most important thing is in 2 weeks, be here at Ciderwoods Field, support this football team for the start of sectionals. It looks like Artesians are just going to take a couple knees here to close this out officially. But get your tickets early, because I'm sure this crowd, this stadium will be rocking for sectionals in 2 weeks. Artesians have a week to rest up, prepare for Bloomington North, and then they will host the Cougars for the opening of sectionals. Next week, Franklin plays Whiteland. The winner of that game will take on the Bloomington South Panthers. Victory formation, and that will do it. The Artesians, they win it here at Ciderwoods Field on senior night. Seniors go out on a win of the regular season, finish the regular season 7-2, 5-2 in the conference. First time since 2002 the Artesians have had 7 wins in the regular season. So be here in 2 weeks at Ciderwoods Field for sectionals. It'll be Martinsville, Bloomington North. I would like to thank all the camera crews for braving the elements for tonight's game. I'm Eric Burns for WREP 15 Sports. Good night, everybody.